Hey everyone, today we're going to be going over how to create a new substance. Now, in the Module 1 Setting Up Instructor Notes, you're going to get some links for Substance Designer, Unity 3D, and Blender. You will need to download all of these programs separately. And the Install Creative Cloud thing here, the Creative Cloud is basically Adobe's, I guess you could say, central hub for accessing all of their different programs, like Substance 3D Designer. Now, if you click this link here, it's going to take you to it's loud. Okay. It's going to take you to a YouTube tutorial that is going to show you how to get access to Adobe Creative Cloud through Canvas for free. You do not have to pay for it. Please don't do that. And when you download it, you're going to get a window that looks something like this. And it's going to have all the different things that Adobe Creative Cloud has to offer. And what we care about right now is Substance 3D Designer. So you'll see a button here that you can click install on. And right now for this first assignment in this first week, Blender and Unity 3D you don't really need yet, but you should get them downloaded and ready to go. But right now we just need Substance 3D Designer. So under creating a substance right here, you're going to see the video that I'm recording right now. It's just not there yet. And another note to add is that this Unity version here may be changed by the time that this video is uploaded. So if you're watching this video, make sure you double check that this is actually the correct one. And if you have any issues downloading any of these, you can message me and I can help you and walk you through it. But it should be relatively simple, so you guys should be okay. So for this first assignment, that's the discussion. We're not going to talk about that right now. It's pretty self-explanatory. It says, create a new empty substance in Substance Designer. Add a noise or pattern. Add a colored text with your name and game graphics. Export the image as a PNG. Create a new project in ArtStation and upload your image to it. Publish your ArtStation project. Now, you are going to be submitting to this assignment an ArtStation link. So this is an example of one of my old ArtStation projects from when I took the class here. So if you click on this, you can go to my ArtStation and see this was a project that I submitted taking this same class that you guys are taking now, although the class you're taking now is a little bit different, but you get the idea. This is just for an example. Now, you guys are going to be setting up an ArtStation account. And ArtStation is basically where you're going to be uploading all of your different projects and stuff as you throughout this class or the degree, whether you're degree bound or not. And it's a great place to show off your work as your portfolio. So we're going to be using that this class because it also makes it easy for you to just submit a link here. And I'm going to be walking you through that. So first things first, you got Adobe Creative Cloud downloaded, and you've downloaded Substance Designer. Speaking's really difficult sometimes. So you're going to click the Open button right here, and it's going to load up. You may get a prompt asking what version of it you want to open. You'll just answer the first one, basically, in the list. So again, if you have any questions about that, just email me. Over here on the top left of the screen, we're going to click New Substance Graph. Now, we're going to click which it's already on it, the metallic roughness right here. This empty here basically will just have no nodes in it, but this setup right here is good for us for what we want to do. And we're just going to name this First Substance Graph. Cool. Don't worry about messing with the sizes right here. These are all fine. So then you're going to go ahead and click OK. It's going to load for a sec, and you're going to get this intimidating UI right now, and it's okay. You don't have to worry too much about it. There's just a few things you need to worry about right now. So right here, in this viewport here, which you can make bigger or smaller by clicking and dragging on this, you can see your little cube that's showing what it would look like if all of these different texture maps that we're going to be editing were added together onto a 3D shape. Now, to rotate it, you can left click with the mouse and drag around. If you want to zoom out, you can use the scroll wheel. On the right over here, it shows a flat image of the base color at the moment, which you can change that, but we're not going to worry about that right now. So I'm going to pull this down here. Arguably, the most important screen is going to be this big part in the middle here. Now, this is your substance graph. This is where you're actually doing texture design. Now, the best way to put it is Substance Designer is almost like, in a way, like Photoshop, However, it has a 3D viewport and different blending options with different nodes to make things easy for you. It's basically Photoshop, but like amped up. So if you've used Photoshop before, you'll see some similarities. Now, we're not going to go over what all of these different nodes do right now. For this assignment, you're just going to be focusing on this base color. Now, all these different nodes and layers are basically stacked on top of each other to create the illusion of a texture. Again, right now we are just simply focusing on the color, so that's all you're going to be worrying about today. Right now, there's a simple uniform color attached to it. It's just gray, and you can change the color in here to be a different color, and you can see it affects our actual texture, which is pretty cool. Now, we are not going to use that. We want to do something more fun. So, if you're hovered over in here, you can click space. Space is going to pull up all these different nodes that you can use. You can also search in here for the different nodes. If we search noise, you see that it'll pop up all these different noise maps. And noise maps are something that we're going to use a lot in this class, and we're going to talk about them more. You can also find the noise maps over here. You'll see there's different categories here. If you select noises, it'll pull up the different noises here. Either way, it works. So I'm going to find a noise that I think looks good, and I'm going to drag it on. So how about clouds 2, right? So we can see now we have this clouds 2 node over here, and in the 2D view, you can see what it looks like as just an image. What we're going to do is we're going to go ahead, we're going to left click and drag this output right here, and we're going to drag it into the base color. Now, right now, this uniform color isn't attached to anything. We can click on it and press delete, and it will go away. Now, in our base color, we're using this clouds 2 noise, which is pretty cool, but it's just black and white right now, which is kind of boring. So let's actually add some color to it. Now, if we click on clouds 2, over here in the properties here, this is where you can adjust some of the parameters, which is awesome. So we can change things like the scale of the texture, how big it is, the disorder of it, and you can adjust the noise, which is really cool. Don't have to mess with that too much, but if you want to, you can. Random size, all this different stuff, right? Now, because I want this to actually display color, I'm going to add what's called a gradient node. So we're going to press space, and you can see gradient map. Sorry, my bad. Technically, it is a node, though. So we're going to press space, and we're going to click gradient map. It's the first one. What we're going to do is we're going to drag our clouds 2 through the gradient map, and then from outside the gradient map, it's going to go into the actual base color through the output. Now, nothing's changed yet, but you can see while we clicked on gradient map, in the base parameters over here, we have some different options. Notice how right here in the gradient, it's black and white. It is on color, though, so if we click on the gradient, it'll add a node, which we can just click delete if you accidentally add an extra node there. That's okay. And then what we're going to do is you can double click on this black here, and we can actually change the color. Now, what this is going to do is all the black parts in my noise map are going to change to whatever color I select. So if I select red, you can see that it's actually changing the color. And it is going to affect the white a little bit because it's a gradient. It blends into the other color. This is your lighter colors. These are your darker ones. So let's select like a dark red, kind of like a blood red, something like that for there. And then for the lighter color, we're going to double click that node. And let's do like a bright orange color. Almost kind of looks like magma a little bit. Maybe we'll make that red a little bit brighter. Yeah, that looks cool. Kind of like a fiery orange. And so now you can see that that's outputting. Now, if we drag from the clouds output here just into the base color, you'd see it goes back to black and white. And that's because right now we're just outputting the noise itself, not the noise and the gradient map. We want it to go through here into the gradient map, then into the base color. So cool. We've added our gradient map. Awesome. And again, you can mess with these settings if you want, the scaling and stuff like that. It's fun to mess with. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to talk about blend nodes. Now, blend nodes are going to be one of the most important things we discuss in this class. So if we press space right now, I'm going to type blend. And you'll see we get this blend node here with the foreground, ground, and background. Basically what the blend node is used for is stacking two different things on top of each other. So we could stack this noise map on top of another map and blend them in a certain way. Now, for this assignment, you were tasked with adding, where is it? here we go. Add a colored text with your name and game graphics. Okay, so we're going to press space. We're going to type in text. And this is going to give us a text node. Now, right now, there's nothing in here, but if we go over here to our parameters, we can see there's a text area here. So I'm going to type my name, which is Harrison Hatridge. And you can see it's already overlapping itself. So let's bring the font size down a bit. And then I'm going to press enter to type a bit lower. And we're going to say Game Graphics. Awesome. So now I have my text there. And you can see in here I can change how high up it is. And then we're going to blend it with our gradient map. Now, right now the gradient map's in the background. I'm actually going to go ahead and drag it to the foreground. And I want to delete this node, or this little line right here. So we're going to press delete. And you can see right now there's no output into the base color because I just deleted the entrance to the base color. So that's why this is showing nothing. So if this is happening, it's because nothing is inputting into the base color. Then what we're going to do is we're going to drag our text output and put it in the background of the blend node. Now you'll notice now you're getting this red right here, and it's not blending properly. And if we drag this in, you'll see nothing happens. That is because we are trying to blend something colored with something that's grayscaled. You can see right here that this is grayscale. So we're going to go ahead and select color. Great. Now it blended, but nothing has really changed. In this blend node, it's just the same as the gradient map. Why is that? Well, by default, in blend mode, it's going to be in copy. Over here in the parameters, you can see it says copy. We don't want that. That's not good. We don't like that. So if we click copy and we scroll down, there's a bunch of different ways that we can blend it. Clicking on linear dodge, we can actually see the text now. And you can mess with the different types of blend modes and what they do if you want. It won't do anything crazy because, I mean, it's just text right now. But in the future, that will be important. So right now, if you want, you can do linear dodge. Subtract does weird stuff. Multiply actually applies the texture to the text, which is pretty cool. But yeah, right now you just need to do linear, and that's what I recommend doing for this assignment. Next, if we want to go back into the text, we can adjust the font size and the font style. So let's do we'll do this one, Comic Sans. That looks fun, right? And you can see that how this works in this 3D view here is it's taking whatever you're outputting and it's just repeating it on every single face of your 3D model. And that's what's actually happening in games when you're applying a texture to it. It's just repeating an image onto it. And so that right there is all you need to be creating. And if you want to get more creative with it and mess with other nodes, I absolutely encourage that. But this is the bare minimum right here. Once you are happy with your texture, by the way, frequently you should be saving projects. This is a small one, but bigger ones it matters more. We're going to press Control S to save our project, and I'm going to just save it to my desktop. I recommend creating a folder to save all of your Substance projects. So actually here, I'll create one. We're going to say Game Graphics Substances. There you go. We're going to click this folder and save it to there. You can name it whatever, but it's already named First Substance Graph. So we're going to click Save. And now if you ever want to reopen this, you can double click here. Oops, it opened on my other monitor. And we can see we have our first substance graph, and we can open it directly from there. Or you can open it from within the Substance Designer application itself too. But it's good to know where your files are stored. So what I want from this assignment is for you guys to actually export the PNG of just the color node. So how you're going to do that is you're going to right-click over here on your first substance graph, and you're going to go Export Outputs. Now, this is a little weird here, a little intimidating, but I promise it's not too complicated. So first here we see the destination of where it's going. We can see it's going to my desktop, actually in my Game Graphics Substances folder. I don't want it to go there, though, because that's the folder holding the projects. Right now, I'm just going to export it to my desktop. Now, right here you can see the outputs. It's exporting the base color, the normal map, the roughness map, metallic height, and ambient occlusion. I only want the base color for this assignment. So we're going to click this box. So right now it's exporting nothing. And we're going to re-click on the base color. So right now it's going to export just the base color. And using RGBs, don't mess with that. No need to use linear or raw, just sRGBs. And then after that, all you have to do is export outputs. When it's done, it'll say export done on the bottom right here, which it went really fast because it is just a PNG image. So let's close out of this now, and if we minimize this, we can see on our desktop now that we have our first substance, and it's just a picture. This is all textures are. They are just images, and you're applying them on separate faces of a 3D model. So that's all you need to export for this assignment. Now, let's talk about how you're actually going to submit it through ArtStation. So if we go to ArtStation here, we're already on my ArtStation account, so that, it's going to make me sign in. Ew. So we're at ArtStation now, and what we're going to do is we're going to click on this little arrow here that's pointing up on the top right. Can you guys see that? Oh, you can't. Look at that. We're going to click on this little arrow here that's up in the top right. Put my camera back. And we're going to click on New Artwork. Now in here, we're going to just call this GameGraphics First Texture. You can name it whatever you want, but something that makes sense. And here we can upload the actual media. So let's go ahead and upload our media files, and we're going to go ahead and click First Substance Graph Base Color. We're going to go ahead and open that. Under an image, you can add a caption like, "This is my first substance graph." Woohoo! 3 exclamation marks. You're super excited, I imagine. And down here, you can add the description. So you should do this for every assignment you submit or any project that you upload to ArtStation. So we're going to go ahead and type, "My teacher forced me to make this for an assignment," just as an example. And then here you can select what medium it is. This is just more, it's more likely to push it towards people so they can see your artwork. You can choose a subject matter. You can enter the software you use. So we used oh my goodness, I can't spell. Ah, what's happening? I didn't want to do that. We're taking a screenshot. No. Substance Designer. Substance 3D Designer. There we go, and it'll pop up there. Next thing you can do, you can also sort it into different albums. That's a whole other ArtStation thing you don't have to worry about. What we're going to do now is click Save. Now, right now this is... Okay, it's fine. Right now this is not published, but we have saved it, so we can publish it at any time. So if I went back to my profile here and I clicked Manage Portfolio, I can see this, but because this says it's not published, no one else can see this. So what you're going to want to do is go in, and you're going to want to click Publish. Now, I'm not going to do that because I'm not going to actually publish this. I'm going to delete this project, but you'll click that, and then you'll be able to have it published. After you have it published, you can then copy the link to it, and then in the, where is it? Hello? There we go. In the submission, that is what you'll submit. You'll literally just copy and paste the link into the text box so I can view it. And that's all you're really doing for this assignment. Pretty simple start, but this program can be, oh goodness, I messed things up. Actually, I'm glad that happened. Let's say you just completely mess up all your windows and everything has gone terrible. If you click on your, it's been a hot second since I've done this, Windows, I think, and then you go to Reset Layout right here on the top left, then click Yes, it'll reset your layout to the defaults. So that's something that you can do in Unity as well, and in Blender, by the way, which we'll go over later. So yeah, this is all you're doing. Just to reiterate, this is the 3D view of the texture. This is your screen for nodes where you can drag stuff on there and actually do your work. This shows the properties of your selected node. And then down here is another way to search for things. If you press space, you can also bring in nodes. And up here you can see your project, and you can right click here to export your stuff. I know that is a lot of information very quickly. It's okay. That's why we're starting out with this simple here. And you guys will get the hang of it as we go through the class. So please email me if you have any questions, and good luck.